Last December, I got the opportunity to collaborate with the San Franciscan Magazine on an exciting new project. They were writing an article about the gardens that surrounded the prison of Alcatraz, and they wanted some original artwork to go along with the article. Alcatraz used to be one of the most notorious prisons in the US, and it's situated on an island right outside of San Francisco. I was so excited when I heard about this article they were writing. I knew about the prison, but I didn't know about the beautiful gardens that accompanied the cell blocks. As soon as I heard about the project, I knew it would make great inspiration for a painting, so I jumped at the opportunity to participate. I visited the gardens on a cold but sunny day in December, and I was really surprised to see the number of blooms and the vibrant plants that were still there. I knew I wanted to do my painting on site rather than working from a reference photo. I love painting in plein air because it really helps me capture the lighting of the scene and the unique feeling of being in that environment. I loved seeing the beautiful variety and diversity of plants on the island. It was fascinating to see the gardens with the cell blocks looming above them. After spending the morning wandering the island and looking for views to paint, I eventually settled on this view of the Rose Garden, with the powerhouse of the island in the back. I was drawn to the bright white of the powerhouse reflecting the sun, and the light that was hitting the greenhouse as well. It was cold, and the light was changing fast, so I tried to paint as quickly as I could, blocking in the colors and capturing the main feeling of the scene. As I painted, I thought about how I could communicate the feeling of bright sunlight hitting the building in the background. I also wanted to suggest the appearance of the gardens without going too much into detail, but instead giving the overall impression. I used hints of color and simple shapes to suggest the plants without drawing too much attention. As I painted, the changing light quickly cast a shadow on the powerhouse. I continued to paint quickly, trying to capture what information I could from the scene, and also working a lot from my memory of earlier that morning. After finishing blocking in the main colors, I started to add details to the painting, but I knew my time was limited. My hands were freezing from the cold, and it was hard to paint the fine details without shivering. I decided to spend the rest of my time focusing on the parts of the image that were in shadow. For the parts that were in light, I would finish those based on my reference photo once I got back to the studio. I also wanted to make sure that I included the Alcatraz rose. There weren't many blooming at this time of year, but there were still a few. This is a rose that was thought to be extinct for many years until it was rediscovered on the island of Alcatraz. I just love the idea of discovering something beautiful in a place that was home to a prison. I reached a stopping point after several hours of painting when my fingers had completely frozen. I was happy with what I had managed to capture on site, and I knew I had enough to go off of once I got back to the studio. It's almost noon and I'm gonna head back because my hands are freezing, but I think I made good progress on the painting, and I'll probably clean it up a little bit in the studio, maybe add some more details once I can get some more precision back into my fingers. Once I'd packed up my things, it was time to get back on the boat and head home. Here's the final outcome after working on the painting in the studio. I think it beautifully captures the light hitting the building and the gradient of light over the gardens. I finished the painting in December, and a few months later, the magazine arrived. It was so cool to see the article and my painting in print, and I can't wait to collaborate with the magazine on future projects.